snow fell cold on a bitter night. John was gone for the morning light. They blame Karen, but it don't sit right. Too many secrets hid from sight. Oh, the badge runs deep, the law runs thin. They stack the deck, but truth won't bend. The judge looks away, the truth gets drowned. Ain't no justice in Canton Town. Proctor's story shifts and sways. Cameras vanish, records fade. The Alberts toast while the doubts grow strong. The folks still fight, won't be long. Oh, the badge runs deep, the law runs thin. They stack the deck, but truth won't bend. The judge looks away, the truth gets drowned. Ain't no justice in Canton Town. Proctor's story shifts and sways. Cameras vanish, records fade. The Alberts toast while the doubts grow strong. The folks still fight, won't be long. Oh, the badge runs deep, the law runs thin. They stack the deck, but truth won't bend. The judge looks away, the truth gets drowned. Ain't no justice in Canton Town.
Hey everyone, welcome back. And if you weren't on my unboxing video, thank you again, Marissa, for making my blood cholesterol explode. But I will enjoy it. This stream is to look at a filing from yesterday. It's Aidan Kearney's third motion to compel required discovery. We read the last letter where they specifically mentioned communications between Kate Peters and people who work for the DA's office. Meatball Morrissey, I believe Tully was mentioned, and Lally. No, not Lally, Tully. With this motion to compel is a sworn affidavit. I will preference this by saying none of this is proven. All of this is so far just what someone filed at court. We don't know anything. We can't prove anything. I will only be speculating like cray-cray, but reading it seems kind of wild. And if it's true, what if any consequences will it have is probably the big question. This case with Aidan Kearney is in regards to Catherine Peters, Kate Peters, Krusty Pandies. As we say in Denmark, a loved child has many names. Not a loved child, but a child who is loved. And we don't mean it in a positive way. But if you are not down with the OPP, Catherine Peters, Krusty herself, used to work with Aidan. She was a writer, as far as I understand, on his website, Turtleboy's website. And right around the time where we picked up on the Karen Reed case, something happened. They got into a tiff about something. The specifics I'm not 100% sure of, but he fired her. She got a massive hate boner. That's why most of all the people you'll see out there who will claim that Karen Read is guilty more or less seems like, well, I just don't like Aidan Kearney. That's what when I see their arguments, it's always because Aidan is an a-hole. I don't know why they believe that is enough to find a woman guilty and send her to prison for life, but apparently in their little world, it is. Is she the person who is always on Plevin's show? I don't watch Plevin's show. I don't know. Understand why he has so many that does. This is something the feds might actually be interested in. Yeah, if true, this is probably something that could be a big deal. But again, the motion from yesterday, specifically, the defense have made three letter demands for ordered and or required discovery concerning Catherine Peter, who, on information and belief, is working as an agent for the Commonwealth in their prosecution against Mr. Kearney and Karen Read. And although our first demand was made more than 6 months ago, the prosecution has neither provided the defense with any requested discovery nor indicated that none of the requested items or information are within the possession, custody, or control of the prosecutor, the prosecuting officer, or any member of the prosecution team. Rule 14 motions. As amendment on March 1st, indeed, the prosecution hasn't responded at all to any of the demands made in the October 8th and 17, 2024 or March 29, 2025 letter demands, all of which describes in great detail the good faith basis for our belief that the prosecution is in possession of evidence that require disclosure. In addition to the outstanding discovery demands referenced above, Mr. Kearney's defense has since received further confirmation that such evidence exists. Significantly, this evidence is described in the sworn affidavit of an acquaintance of Miss Peter, a copy of which is attached here through as Exhibit A. As detailed by a sworn statement of the witness, Miss Peters has admitted to the witness that she has had a long-standing relationship in which she has assisted the Commonwealth in their efforts to prosecute Mr. Kearney and Miss Read. Miss Peters' relationship with the Commonwealth and its key witnesses against Mr. Kearney and Miss Read includes evidence that, among other things, she regularly speaks to and meets with the Read prosecutors. Mrs. Peters' relationship with Special Prosecutor Kenneth Mello and the Massachusetts State Police are detailed in the October 8, 2024 demand on page 3 to 12 and October 7th, 6 to 7. Received monthly payment from the Commonwealth in exchange for her assistance against Mr. Kearney and Miss Read. That's where that could potentially be quite a problem. Receive items of value from key witness Jennifer McCabe. Was granted de facto immunity from prosecution in exchange from her assistance with the Commonwealth. Altered, destroyed, and or disposed of material evidence, including the contents of her cellular phone that would have been favorable to Mr. Kearney. Admitted her intent to start rumors about Mr. Kearney's purported harassment of jurors to further the Commonwealth's unsuccessful effort to ban Mr. Kearney from covering the Read case. Used her social media platform to help the Commonwealth circumvent a gag order in the Read case. Stalked, harassed, and spied on Mr. Kearney, Miss Read, one of Miss Read's attorneys, and supporters of Miss Read. Admitted that Lindsay Gattani lied about a material fact relevant to her criminal allegations against Mr. Kearney. Significantly, according to the witness sworn statement, Miss Peters admitted to her that Jennifer McCabe issued an ultimatum directly to District Attorney Morrissey in exchange for her favorable testimony against Miss Read. She would not testify until Turtleboy is in jail. Miss Peter further told the witness when Mrs. McCabe was told that the Commonwealth can simply subpoena her, she implied that if her demands were not met, we would alter her testimony in a manner designed to harm the Commonwealth's case against Miss Read. On information and belief, Ms. McCabe used the word we means that in addition to herself, other key prosecution witnesses to whom she is close would also would not testify favorable for the prosecution unless Mr. Kearney was in jail. Ms. Peters further admitted to the witness that on March 16th, she met with Ms. McCabe and DA Morrissey. The prosecution still haven't complied fully with its obligation to provide any discoverable electronic communications from representatives of the DA's office and witnesses against Mr. Kearney in Braintree. And when the witness saw Ms. Peters shortly after that meeting, Ms. Peters had a manila envelope with her. None of the foregoing items or information has been provided to the defense team by the Commonwealth, despite several prior requests in addition to the pre-existing rule. I know the document isn't on screen. I'm still reading it. I'm reading it off the other screen. I'll pull up the affidavit. It's just, I'm just talking to my mods. Despite several prior requests in addition to the pre-existing Rule 14 obligation based upon the information provided by the witness sworn statement and the contents of our 3 previous letter demands, there is strong reason to believe that there exists discoverable information and material in the Commonwealth's possession, custody, and control, whether the Kearney or Reed prosecution team, related to Ms. Peters' involvement with the Commonwealth and or witnesses who will testify against Mr. Kearney. The prosecutor also has a duty to inform each member of the prosecution team who he has reason to believe may be in possession, custody, or control of discoverable items or information, and to then inquire of each person as to the existence of such items and information, Rule 14. Thus, at a minimum, the prosecutor must address the issue raised in the affidavit and letter demands that D.A. Morrissey, Hank Brennan, Adam Lally, Laura McLaughlin, Ms. Peters, Ms. McCabe, Kellen Mello, Brian Tolley, and John Fanning. Any discoverable evidence then must be immediately collected and promptly disclosed to his defense. This, of course, includes prompt disclosure of any evidence that the Reed prosecution team has in their possession, custody, or control, which adversely impacts the credibility of any witnesses against Mr. Kearney, otherwise favors him or casts doubt on the case against him, Rule 14. The Commonwealth's disclosure obligation to Mr. Kearney remains irrespective of any purported view of the evidence reliability, credibility, or admissibility, and without regard to whether the information has been documented in any manner, Rule 14. In other words, where the subject matter jurisdiction is discoverable, the prosecution must promptly disclose any information derived from conversations or interviews between or among Ms. Peters, the relevant witness against Mr. Kearney, and any members of the Kearney or Reed prosecution team, even if it was not memorialized in any way. Therefore, Mr. Kearney respectfully requests that the court order production of the requested and any other outstanding discovery within 14 days of this date of the motion. Promptly schedule a hearing thereafter on the issue of sanctions under Rule 14 for the unexcused failure to provide discovery and for the misconduct of a government agent. Issue an order to show cause upon the Commonwealth at an evidentiary hearing as to why the case should not be dismissed with prejudice or be the subject of such other relief as is authorized by Rule 14, and any such other relief as the court deems just, meet, and proper. So this is the motion that Aidan filed yesterday. We read the last motion as well, where they said, we know these people are talking. We have their cell phone communication. Remember, Tolley made a mistake back in the day and sent everything from Kearney's phone to Aidan's defense team. They had it for a long time before they were ordered to give it back, but they have seen something in there. If, when possibly this goes nowhere, because the last letter didn't go anywhere, I don't know what you can do, because at what point is it just too obvious that the Commonwealth is playing dirty? I don't know. Yeah, about 10 weeks of trial with Karen Reed, of course, and how long that this is scheduled for. That's why the Aidan team is pressing on, because they know as soon as Karen Read, if she's found guilty, Aidan's charge will probably go away. If she's found innocent, it 100% will go away. I would have to assume she got paid from some federal agency. A little embellishment, probably likely. Well, let's get to the part that we are actually here for, because again, this was a filing. We claim blah, blah, blah. Can they prove it? Well, the last time they said, well, we have digital evidence, or there is digital evidence. This time we have an affidavit, a sworn affidavit that's signed and witnessed by Courtney Healy. I think she's one of those who, I don't know what it's called, certifies this. But again, this is not proven. This is alleged in this affidavit. I don't know the person. I don't know. Just so no one comes out and say, well, you're just blah, blah, blah. Can this witness testify on both Karen and Aidan's behalf? Well, depends. They have 2 phones of Turtleboys. Yes. Imagine selling out Jen's casting couch for free, crust included. Ugh. A notary public. I mean, they harbor Hippo Higgins. The 2 are one and the same. Well, if this is to be believed, and again, I've just seen this. This is filed in court. Filing this in court is also, I know no one told Carrie Roberts, but you can get in trouble for filing false statements in court. I know it's a shocker that in Massachusetts you can't lie to the court. This person is not anonymous. This person is redacted in this, but let's go through it. My name is, I reside in Massachusetts. I am of age and competent to make this affidavit. I have been friendly with Krusty for close to a year. I have had multiple conversation and face-to-face interaction with Krusty. Krusty volunteered information to me about the Karen Read case countless times throughout our friendship. All factual representations below are from what Peter told me about her involvement in the Karen Read and Aidan Kearney case. So again, did Krusty oversell her engagement? Maybe, who knows? Some people like to talk themselves a little bit bigger. I don't know how it is. I don't know. I don't know any of these lawyers. I didn't start the Rumble stream. Why didn't the Rumble stream is up? Why isn't it starting? I hate Rumble. Hey DC. It only depends if you intentionally lied. Yeah, that's the new thing from Wendy Murphy and Caffey Daffy. Why is this person coming out now? I don't know. Why did Paulo Ball's girlfriend come out and spill the beans? I don't know. Oh, the fallout was 5 years ago. Okay. Didn't she get paid for Netflix? I don't know anything about any of. I haven't seen anything. There's no FOIA request that I know of that has disclosed anything. During Karen Read's first trial, she was in regular communications with Adam Lally. At one point prior to jury deliberations, Peter met with Lally for lunch. During the lunch meeting, Lally told Peter that he knows the foreperson who is a retired police officer, and he, the juror, is guaranteeing a mistrial. This is what it was verbally reported to me by Peter. This is the first little thing where you can say, whoa. Remember all that huffing and puffing about jury tampering, and there was absolutely no jury tampering, and Mr. Fanning was as pure as the driven snow. This is hearsay. He's saying what Lally allegedly told Karen Peters. Is that proof? No. When we saw how much Beverly Canone blew up and started yelling over that bill that the ARCA guy sent, I would expect that Monday morning, Bev storms into the courtroom, kicks over the tables and say, Brennan, Lally, my room right now, bring your own switch. It won't happen. It's a joke. But this is something that could potentially spell quite a big problem, because we know the foreperson was a police officer, but it's hearsay. It's what she allegedly was told by Lally. But is it enough? Does it pass the sniff test? Should Beverly Canone act on this when she acted on, okay, so we are not going to have more communications, and then they said, okay, we'll send you the papers. That was enough for her to almost throw Alan Jackson out of the courtroom. I think Monday will show. If one files a false affidavit, they could go to prison. Yeah, exactly. Even though you can lie to a grand jury in Massachusetts, but you're not allowed to file false affidavits. It's hearsay, but it's damning hearsay. It's kind of like the same hearsay that Fanning was told by someone that there was a recording of a jury member, and that's why that jury member was kicked off the jury. I would, if Beverly Canone stands by her own previous actions, even though this is filed in the Aidan Kearney case, Lally has nothing to do with Aidan Kearney's case. This is alleged witness jury tampering in the Karen Reed case. To me, that's a big old problem, because Canone lost her shit when they filed a motion claiming witness tampering or jury tampering. Come on now. So if she's to be the Bev Canone we know, she should be losing her mind right now. I know it's claw o'clock in the Cape right now, so she can't read this. But when her and Jim wakes up Monday morning and sees this in the Aidan Kearney case, they should cancel the jury Monday. We know we're having Wadaya in the afternoon, but they should kick the jury home and say, okay, Brennan, we need to figure this out right now. I'm already lost. So somehow Turtleboy knows is reporting this about Karen Peters getting paid, or the foreperson was. Yes, you are very lost. Someone Turtleboy don't know, but who is friendly with Krusty, has signed an affidavit notarized that during her friendship with Krusty Panties, she has relayed information, Krusty Panties, to this person. The first accusation she makes is that Krusty Panties claims to have had a lunch with Lally, where Lally at that lunch claimed that the foreperson guaranteed a conviction. You read ahead. You're not allowed to read ahead. You stay with the teacher, and the teacher will take you. That's why I break it down, so we don't get lost. Be a good student, sit down, and don't read ahead. That's why it always goes wrong. But no, the first claim is relayed by Krusty. Lally had a fix on the jury. I think that's a problem that Beverly Canone, especially related to her previous yelling at the defense team, needs to fix. This could all be true from this person's perspective. However, Krusty likes to lie and make herself sound more important than she is. Tonya, I 100%, this is all pure disclaimer, everything. I'm speculating on a file piece of paper. I have no proof it's true. I have no proof of anything. So all of this is just the purest of the speculations. And someone is writing something in here, just so I have even more places to go and look. Oh, it's an old update. Sorry. But so far, we have claims of Lally having an in on the jury. That's the only claim we have so far. Nina Stanek, wouldn't the payment be public record information? Unless you cook the books, it should be yes. But so far, I haven't said anything about payments. Sit down, don't run ahead of class, don't read ahead. If you do, we will all be discussing 25 different things instead of just going step by step. We don't know who the person is. It's I don't know if Aidan know who it is. Well, he probably does because he had the affidavit as an exhibit. She told me she is paid $1,500 each month via Cash App for her assistance in the Karen Read and Aidan Kearney prosecutions. This is where I think it's very easy provable or not provable. Because if someone is transferring $1,500 from a public account to Karen Peters, that should be possible to examine right quick. Because you can't have a public payment or a government payment without having a paper trail, at least unless you cook the books. Yeah, if you don't behave, we don't get to go out and play around us. You'll just have to sit in class the rest of the day. Yes, Krusty is KP. I'm sure there are more texts because Turtleboy said this is the worst of Carrie's text messages weren't even used. Oh, this has nothing to do with this part. Yeah, but then how did he pay her? And if she is being alleged to being paid, shouldn't that be a part of the discovery as well? The problem is that the DA's office are never turning over their discovery. Peter believes that Karen Read is innocent, but she has to play the game. And I don't know why this is here. This is one of those filler statements that had nothing to do. I interpret this to mean Peter's role is to publicly promote an advocate on social media that Miss Read is guilty. Peter opined to me that if anyone killed John, it was redacted an asshole. So it could be me because I'm quite an asshole. Over 5K, it's a 1099. Yeah, and she's on. I was just talking to Marissa about this because she's on welfare. So in Denmark, if you're on welfare, they will look at your books, and if you get too much, they'll withhold your welfare. Plus, if you have too much valuables, they will say, yeah, you can sell that off and live off of that before you can get welfare. But apparently, you don't do that in Los Estados Unidos. If she was paid, it was likely through a third party as a favor to Morrissey. Yeah, but then how does Morrissey transfer those funds? Money don't. That's the beauty about living in a digital world. Money always have a trail. So that should be discoverable. But again, the DA won't turn over anything. So how are we to discover if it's true? I don't know. CIs will have to be written down as well. who paid them for what. Do I? I think I'd call it Krusty. The word you're looking for is fraud. Yeah, but again, you need to find the fraud before you can before you can charge them. Well, welfare is dead. It's always dead. Just ask the politicians. Paid by D&E Pizza. She's probably getting the money in mediocre chicken and parm. You're probably covered by some other expense, but then you can do an audit. But that would, if you were to do an audit, that would mean that you would have to have the feds come in, and they probably won't touch this with a fire poker. Well, the Commonwealth would have to report it, or Cash App would generate it. My Pros business has slowed down, so I haven't hit that benchmark yet. Pros? You could get the receipts from Cash App for transfers into her account, but I don't know if she can. Easy, he gives some of the police some extra overtime and they pay Kate Peters. Could be. I don't know. Yeah. Pros business. Sorry. Stop unaliving your lot lizards. You can make more money if you give them more go-rounds. Peter is very close with Brennan and has had multiple conversations and meetings with him. I have personally heard Peter on the phone with Brennan. This is another one of these better kick the table, because Lally working at the DA's office could maybe potentially maybe have a little bit to do with the Aidan Kearney case, but Special Protector Brennan is hired only to touch the Karen Read case. So why is he out there talking to people, especially connected to Aidan? Why are they using Krusty for anything? But he was the same guy who sanctimoniously stood in court, yelled that he would never allow anyone on his team to bend the rules. He wanted a fair trial. Can we prove this? It's hearsay. It's under the pain of perjury. But again, in Massachusetts, what does it mean? But I would, if I was Judge Canoni, which I'm not because I'm not drunk, I would, for the integrity of my courtroom, I would get pissed off. And I would be shaking like she was over the ARCA bills. This is kind of a watershed moment in the Karen Read case, in the Karen Read case, because will she treat the other side equal? I don't trust she will. What am I opening next? I just saw hot sauce, and you're complaining that you weren't up early enough for biscuits and gravy. You're streamed too late. You have to remember the mafia was pervasive throughout the Massachusetts government. Many of the people in this situation came up during the peak mafia time period. If you don't remove it all, it continues. Exactly. DA can hire a PI, and a PI can pay KP. But you will still have to have something on the books that the PI does for you, because it's kind of what you're supposed to do. But there's the other interesting thing. As far as everyone knows, Krusty is on welfare. And allegedly, she's at the same time working for some PI. And if she then also collects money under the table, I don't know if you use that word in America, that's what we call it. If you have shady money, it's money under the table. If you collect money under the table from the government, that's a whole lot of welfare fraud, and the IRS could probably be interested. That's just weird. Lally is shady, just low-key shady, unlike Brennan, who makes it very known. Lally is part of a system that's broken, and no one can fix it until you get a good DA. During phone conversations between Peter and Hank Brennan that I was present for and personally recognized Hank Brennan's voice, Peter told him that her people leaked it to the media, referring to the federal investigation being over. That's one of the things we have been wondering. How did the human thumb know before everyone else that it was over? It could potentially have been leaked by Brennan's office, who would have been instructed by the DOJ that they weren't looking into it anymore. Another thing that he sanctimoniously yelled about in court would never ever happen. As of April 15, Peter is not talking directly to Hank anymore. We are using third party to communicate now. I don't know how we can verify that. Peter states that she is untouchable because of everything. Well, that's because of the Krusty panties. Because of everything she is doing to assist the prosecution, and that no matter what violation I'm charged with, Morrissey is keeping me out of jail. Funny enough, she has multiple charges against her. She has multiple cases against her. They keep getting bumped. Aidan has restraining orders against her. I think he filed that she broke her restraining order, and it keeps getting bumped. Could kind of imply that the DA's office might be giving her a sweetheart deal. But at what point can you call Krusty and put her on the stand under oath? Probably swearing the oath would make her burn. Did Krusty finally get fired from her job? No. Seems like she's doing fine. It'll be under the table from an independent PI. I think it's the same PI that was associated with Tully. I also think hired Albert and Proctor. Yeah, I can't remember. There's a PI who shows up somewhere that she claims she worked for him at some point. What I understand, when Rafferty retired, she admitted in a letter that the federal investigation, I've never seen anything to prove that. No one wants to trust the Krusty's panties. Exactly, that's why she's untouchable. Probably not after filing this letter, and that will also raise doubt about the testimony. See you later, Paula B. I don't know, but until anything is public, there will be 1,000 rumors and no truth out there. So always wait till you get a confirmation that anyone said or did anything. This case is like what we're covering right now, filled with so many people who say they saw her, did something, and we never ever see the receipts. There was a guy in Florida who built an entire YouTube channel about his special insights that never ever showed up to be right. Well, he claimed when things happened 5 months later, I had the insights all the time. But there's a lot of rumors, speculations, and innuendos. Until you see it with your own eyes, wait. I'm not complaining about the overalls. I'm just saying you said it last year. Even if this just gets the feds to keep looking into corruption, it's a win. That's probably the best you could hope for, because the DA's office won't do anything. Peter asked me to go stalk Karen Reed in the seaport with her and stated that Karen Reed stays at the Omni Hotel. She stated to me that we can take photos to sell to the Daily Mail and that she has done that before. Remember that photo where Karen, or that video clip where Karen Reed was being held back by Alan Jackson that was grabbing her while they were outside of a bar, that all the aunties started sharing, that I believe Daily Mail and New York Post also published, that a lot of people have said was tampered with. A lot of people claims that they originated from Kate Peters. Could potentially be that she have done it before, sold pictures, maybe pictures that was manipulated. They could also be cutting a deal with someone like a drug dealer paying KP in exchange for not being prosecuted. Oh yeah, you could. Yeah, that's a way to wash money. Two. Yeah, that photos was fake AF. AI photo, something about the text format it was filmed in couldn't have happened with an iPhone or something like that. Yeah, but for no matter how much or how little money the government takes off the book, they will have to have a receipt because they get audited, even though there's a ton of money going missing everywhere every year in the public coffers. But they are actually to provide a receipt for taking money out. And $1,500, even though what's $1,500 between friends, it's a substantial amount that you have to cook the books. So it's going to be interesting to see if they have any proof that she's getting. And no, I'll get back to that in a bit. That's the next post. Peter informed me that Jennifer McCabe bought her a brand new sectional as compensation for her assistance. She has since then shared a receipt for that sectional, because that's a couch, I'm told. I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, this is the one. This is her receipt from Wayfair. Sorry, get it over here so we can, and you can hardly see it, but I don't want to scroll down too much because her address is on here. But it says Catherine Peter, order date December 6th. Grand total 800 and I can't see shit on this screen. $843.99. Oh, now you can see her address. And this is her sectional, and it was shipped on the 8th, where the payments went through because it's a financing company that paid. And she also got an Performance Oriental Rock, whatever that is. But this is, she claims this is the couch that is mentioned here, that she didn't get it from Jen McCabe, she financed it. You don't have sectionals in Europe. It's just a module sofa. But if I was to cook the books and hide a money trail, what would be an easy way? Let's say I want to give you $100,000. I have to do it in increments because 100,000 all of a sudden in your books would raise flags because you're destitute. But you can finance a car for $100,000. And you need a new car because you have 6 kids with 7 different men. I will then every month give you $1,000 to pay off your car plus a little extra. So you pay the car payment off your bank account so it looks legit. Oh, you're buying this car. And then I'll just give you money under the table. So you'll end up with a new car and haven't paid anything for it because you can just use that spending money as long as it doesn't go to your account. That's a pretty good way to hide money if you set up that kind of deal. Sending things to your Venmo is a really stupid way to try and hide money. That's all I would say. The loan was just 2 days, and all she would have to do is give McCabe her login credentials. I read it. I think it's the wrong way you're reading it. I think the loan went through in 2 days. The financing was accepted in 2 days, because then this is the receipt from the shop. The shop and you are done. You don't owe them. Now you owe the financier. I think that's how this works. That sofa was a good deal. She definitely could have gotten something pricier. She's almost homeless. And a $900 sofa is fine. No, she has 2 of her kids. This woman doesn't have that amount of money in her bank account. No, but if you're financing, a financing company is paying so they can repo your Krusty accounts. So you are finished with the furniture store. Now you just owe the financier. That's how I think you have to read that. It's not that she financed it and then she came back and said, "Oh, by the way, I paid my financing out," because it's a different company. Wayfair Finance. The people who lend you money is someone else, so they can tack on a lot of interest when you can't pay your down payments. Higher than most batting averages in the MLB. Do you hear, Rico? I don't know. All of this is allegations. We don't know, but I would expect due diligence from Judge Kearney that she will at least call Lally to the stand to testify that he absolutely 100% never ever did any of this. Brennan and Kate Peters. And maybe this witness. Yeah, but it'll be put differently in the books who you owe the monies. So I don't think it's what people think. And not bankrupt the manufacturer, retailer during recessions. Yeah, and you can always sell it on to another company if you can't get money in. That's the thing I told Marissa, because I said, I don't know how your financing works. When I read it, I read it as it just went off the books because the financing was applied. It wasn't that it was paid out. So that's how I read it. And Marissa said, yeah, you're right. Maybe. I don't know. But we don't have credit scores. In Denmark, we actually need to save money to be able to borrow money. And I just can't see an almost homeless EBT card recipient has that great of a credit score. But maybe I don't know if that Wayfair financing is one of those predatory lenders. I don't know. You should always try and ask, because I don't see them. I know, but I would expect, but I am what's called a gullible idiot. So I believe in the best in humans. You get financing first before the purchase go through. I had a case where someone did online scams, and they just financed instantly, except when they had to finance a car, they would have to come back the next day because it's a larger amount. Maybe, I don't know how that financing works, so I can't say anything about it. File on a Turtleboy's case, so Bev will go about it as usual. But there is a little caveat that takes it into Turtleboy's case as well. Renting furniture is like renting underwear. Yeah, buying things on credit seldomly is a good idea. What's the expert's P.O. box? Expert, what's your P.O. box? Peter was told by Jennifer McCabe that Jennifer McCabe informed Michael Morrissey. So again, this is double, triple hearsay again. That she is not testifying unless Turtleboy is in jail. Remember, Yannetti filed a motion to get all communications related to witnesses not willing to testify, or who had expressed an unwillingness to testify. This is from that. Because if Jennifer McCabe have said, get him to prison or I'm not testifying, he has to make a record of that. Michael Morrissey informed Jennifer McCabe, who would have then have to subpoena her, and Jennifer McCabe then told Morrissey, then we won't say what you want us to say. All of this is really good if you can get it from the horse's mouth. And I'm, of course, talking about Jen McCabe because she looks like a horse. If you can get her to say that on the stand, or you have any proof of that, that would be really good in Karen Reed's case. Peter got rid of her phone the day after Kearney announced on his live show that he was looking to get personal communications of Michael Morrissey. Peter said to me, they will never get the communications between me and Morrissey. Again, can we prove it? The day that Peter showed up to protest at the Karen Reed trial, Peter informed me Jen McCabe paid me for her show of support. Remember when the Camel Toe Club, the Food Stamp 5 showed up one of the last days in Karen Reed's first trial and just bullied their way through so they could get on TV. There was something about, was it like $600 raised to buy lunch for these ladies? Fundraisers is also a great way to hide money. Super chats. But there was a rumor that she had gotten like $600 or $700, and none of it was spent on lunch. She got herself a butt heavy. At least she doesn't drink light. I like that in a girl. And didn't give anyone else lunch. Could it potentially have come from an account that Jen McCabe's behind? Who knows? Speculations. If Krusty spews out kids, then she will have a decent check from what I hear. Yeah, but the problem is the stupid state keeps taking her meal tickets away. They've taken 50% of her income. I don't know. Loans are made by Community Capital Bank, a Bread Financial Company. Seems legit. Yeah, all of these, they always have the fun names. That case I had with all the fraud claims, there was like 7-8 different banks who owned money, but when we looked at it, all of them was the same bank. They just had 45 different names because it's just predatory lending. There are emails between Jen and Morrissey. Yes. And we know there's contact between Carrie Roberts and Morrissey as well, because she testified to it on the stand. I'm pretty sure Betero has KP's phone data. They've been sitting on this. I don't think he has KP's phone data. I think that he has. I think they had Lindsay's phone data. That's where all of this comes from. I don't think they have, because if they have Kate's phone, he will be in a big hall of a trouble, because I don't think that's been given to them. Do you think Jen McCabe is doing orgasms? I don't think she ever reached one. That's why she's the sorry cunt. But thanks, Zach, for making me think about the horse-faced woman in bed. Do you think she likes it if he uses what's it called? The headdress? It was 6,500. I thought it was 6,500. Oh, 650. It was supposed to pay her lawyer. No, that's not the one. She did a fundraiser right before the Camel Toe Club showed up outside of court to buy them dinner. Basically, if you have a credit score, they will finance your waterbed. Terms will just be punitive if you're Krusty. Yeah, that's the thing. You'll end up paying 5 waterbeds if you don't do your payments. I don't know. This is filed yesterday. We don't know. What do you think about the mysterious Albert rock that disappeared? My mods are sharing it. I seen it on X. I don't know. Does it mean anything? It's weird it shows up and disappears, but what, if anything, does it have to do? Was it something that anyone saw? It's not directly where John's body would have been found, so I don't know. Some idiot was out there throwing a stone. They claim it's the Karen readers, but why would they do that? Because that would be, oh, there's a stone he could have hit his head on. So it doesn't make sense. If you bite her back, she will buck and squeeze. Is the sound she says. It was said that John's niece is living with Jen McCabe. I haven't heard that again. There's a lot of rumors out there. I don't know much about it. As far as I've heard, and as I've heard testified to in court, she's living with Peg. Poor girl. On March 16th, Peter told me that she went to meet with Morrissey and Jen McCabe at an undisclosed location in Braintree. That's such a cool name. When Peter returned home, she had a manila envelope in her hands. Why would she meet with Morrissey and Jen McCabe? Again, can it be proven? It could be something. Pete has informed me that she has seen emails that are subject to a protective order between Karen Reed prosecution team and Jennifer McCabe. Is Brennan breaking his gag order that he wanted at that he screamed that the defense broke? Peter reported to me that upon request of Brennan, she provided the spreadsheet of all the free Karen Reed Facebook supporters to the Commonwealth for this upcoming trial. That's a nothing burger. All of those Harvard law students have been doing exactly the same for all the anti-Karen Reed groups. It's just to make sure you don't get the wrong person on a jury. This is due diligence. I don't see anything shady in this. If they are having a working relationship and he said, hey, can you get me this? This is just how you prep your jury. Pete told me that Hank Brennan is providing information to the federal authorities regarding Karen Reed and Aidan Kearney because he wants them in jail for the trial. But who are the federal authorities? We already had a federal grand jury not a federal, but a state grand jury saying no collusion. So that point I don't get. What should they get her for? RICO? But there's nothing here. There's no collusion between them proven. So I don't know what they mean by that. Peter told me she's going to start rumors about jurors being afraid to serve because Turtleboy will go after them, and everyone is working overtime to make sure that Turtleboy can't be in the courtroom for the trial. This is no news. Peter admitted to me that she created the image of Karen Reed and Alan Jackson embracing that was given to the Daily Mail. This is what a lot of people have been speculating, and this claims to be true now. Oh, forgot McCabe. Let's stick it to the main thing. Thank you, Zach. What makes it even more dodgy is that Hank was his own taint team in Morrissey's communication. Yeah, and that's not, he shouldn't be allowed to do that. That should instantly raise red flags. Is there a Rocket 34 Fairview just joining? Sorry, I missed it. Yes, maybe the mods can put it in the Karen Reed folder in the Discord. I don't know any. It's just a picture of a rock. That's what I've seen, and you can kind of see. Yeah. Jemima has already done her homework. Doesn't KP work for a private investigation? She claims that, or someone claims that. We don't know, but welcome, Holland. Welcome to the Hollander Club. The Orange Corner. Does this person live with Kate P? How do they know what Kate P had when she returned home? That's one of those interesting things. It's a redacted affidavit. Aidan and Betterow and Bradel must know who's this person. They must have vetted them. It's signed under the pains of perjury, I would think, when it's notarized. I don't know who this person is. Thank you so much, Brandon, for gifting 10 memberships to Average Step, who is everything but average. The other jewels in Lemony Pickett's P. St. Croix. Tax cut. Binging Crimes Not Cookies. I was beginning. Mickey, Courtney, Turquoise Blue. You're stuck here for a month. You're stuck here for a month. You're stuck here for a month. And so is Danny Bacon. My favorite condiment. Bacon. Thank you so much, Brandon, for sticking people here for a month. So I don't have to sit and say I'll do all the YouTube things. So people get annoyed. Oh, we are over 1,000. Hey, everyone. You're bored on a Saturday as well? Please make sure to like and subscribe. We would love to see Baker over 16,000. He's so close. Oh, you're edging me. Thank you, Jemima. Would they have to split Karen's couch payment between 1st and 15th so she wouldn't go into DTs? DTs? I don't know what DTs. And she's Kate. It's Kate who buys the couches. I don't think Karen is selling more couches than she's buying right now because she has to flood that legal bill. I love that people are saying, well, all her lawyers are pro se. Yeah, but she also have to pay for ARCA, Dr. Russell, transport, board, every little thing around there. It gets expensive real fast. People need to stop with every single rumor, man. I agree, Hank Spencer. That's why every time people say, hey, have you heard? I've said, I haven't seen it in court and I haven't seen it out there. So I will wait and see. Oh, delirium tremors, and I'm playing the anti-side now. So you're pretending to be a troll. Who can ban me? Just the three of you. I can ban you. Is that troll here? I didn't see. Well, I didn't miss much. In early January, Peter and I was discussing the Kearney case against Aidan. I mentioned something about Kearney being pregnant at the time, and Peter interrupted me saying Lindsay was never pregnant. I am aware that Peter and Kearney were close friends in the past and worked together against Mr. Kearney. Yeah, that's some lovers spat there between Krusty and Doink the Clown. I understand that I'm not represented by any attorneys connected to the Aidan Kearney or Karen Reed defense team, and that I am turning over this information because it is important to know the truth about what's going on. I am not being coerced or compensated, and I am doing this of my own free will. Signed under the pains and pains and penalties of perjury. See, Kerry Roberts, someone knows it. On April 21st, 2025. And with a witness. So lots of allegations. Witness tampering in Karen Reed 1.0. Undisclosed relationship between Kate Peters and Meatball Morrissey. Leaking of information from the prosecution side, especially Special Prosecutor Brennan. Monetary compensation from one of the witnesses for social media activities. Lying about a pregnancy, which would then make sure that Aidan's case should have been dismissed, because that's one of the charges that it shouldn't be dismissed, but that would render her testimony about her having a small shin because she was pregnant kind of moot. How much is proved? Young Jerks was asking Carl Steinbeck if more people other than Massachusetts are interested in this trial. I wanted to shout through the screen, yeah, Broken Baker. I am the smallest Karen Reed trial channel who has been here all the way. There's a lot of people jumping on the ship right now because, hey, that's where the numbers are. We grifters need to grift. But I have audience I know from Australia, Holland, Finland, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, South Africa, Portugal represented yesterday, Switzerland, Austria, Germany. So yeah, it's quite a thing, and everyone knows this. Is that a NASCAR Lego behind you? Are you a NASCAR fan or just a Lego fan? I have a Camaro NASCAR right there. I don't understand NASCAR. You're just driving in a ring, but I like motorsports generally. I like Formula One, and but it's a cool Lego. I like to build Legos to de-stress. Oh, thank you so much, Amanda Evans. Big up Scotland. I have Scottish people as well, and I have Welsh people, and I have. Do we have any Irish people? We have British people as well. Yeah, but he has 4 times the numbers of viewers that I have, so he's doing better than I am. Northern Ireland, but and of course Denmark. I'm not taking my shirt off for 16 hours. I just got new shirts today because Marissa wants to see me dressed all the time. And even in the States, it's broad. EDB is in Tennessee, Lawn Lumber is Virginia, Andrea Burkhardt is Washington, I think Runkle is Canada, Ricada is Minnesota. No, this is the new big case that everyone is following. Next week, I believe, is which one is it that starts next week? Is it the Coburger case starts the 6th of May, maybe? But this one is the big case right now. You can see it because all of us YouTubers is grifting the heck out of it. Normally, when you see certain YouTubers come around, you know, oh, it's reaching peak grift right now. But this is a big case. And why is it a big case? Because stuff like this happens. You didn't see this as in a Kyle Rittenhouse case. You saw that pinch to zoom thing in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. You saw Meatbox and what's his name, Binger, and the other one trying to imply that using your Fifth Amendment rights is illegal. But you didn't see this level of shenanigans because this is in Turtleboy's case that has nothing to do with Karen Reed on the face of it. But in reality, because Turtleboy was the one who found out how dirty Massachusetts is, they went after that guy. This shouldn't be necessary if you have a good case. It shouldn't be necessary that you have to invent a totally new timeline. It shouldn't be necessary that you say, hey, look at that little spoiler on the car. It'll show you something. No, it won't, because no evidence is found there. You wouldn't be needing all of those little video clips you show all the time if you had a good case. It's kind of funny to watch some people feign to have an interest other than shekels. Was pretty embarrassing yesterday. Well, we are all grifted by the grace of God. Some people are just coming in a little late. Do you think that Carrie Roberts saying she had a meeting with the DA will allow the defense to call him as a witness? Will they? I believe he is a witness already and is on the witness list. So they can call Meatball. I've actually reached out to Rackets and thought I asked about his view on it because he didn't want. I'll clearly declare I am highly biased in this case. I have wasted 2 years of my life on this case, a case that should have been a week long, a simple DUI case, if it should have ever been brought to court. I have wasted 2 years while I have been doing everything else. I have constantly been going back to the Karen Read case because this is actually a quite interesting case. Not just because, yeah, there's numbers here, there's shekels, there's all of that. But when you dig deep down into it, there's all of these little side quests. And this is what makes it interesting. This is why I spent my Saturday afternoon where I should have been out because I just got hot honey in my box. I should be out buying a pepperoni pizza and having hot honey on my pizza. I'm spending an hour reading these documents because it's very interesting. Not because the case on its face is a really boring case. There's nothing in this case. It's a hit and run. That's all that's in this case. Why is this case a worldwide phenomenon? Why are we sitting here reading about some EBT card carrying loser allegedly conspiring with the prosecution? This is why this case is funny to cover, because I could do the easy thing. I could go cover Courtney Clenny and just put her bazookas on the screen and do 8-minute videos, talk about my coffee company. But it's funnier to do this. Your Minnesota accent is your best accent. It's because Minnesotans are descendants of Swedes and you're basically Swedish. Brandon, can you block LDR? Give him a little timeout. He needs it. Oh, no, you can't do it on purpose. I messaged Kate and told her she's getting really defensive about the story. She messaged me back and was even more defensive about being defensive. I've only seen her like this about her kids. If this is true, where's Jamie been? Jamie was on last hour, but she's working hard. Imagine being Kate Peters right now. If all of this actually, no. If all of this actually comes to fruition and they can prove this, she will have done welfare fraud, she will have been doing tax fraud, and she will be conspiring to do a crime. And she has been harassing and stalking Karen Read. She has been harassing Aidan Kearney. She's been breaking her restraining order against Aidan. Who do you think the shit always lands on? It's always the lowest Indian on the totem pole that gets all the shit on them. Morrissey, yeah, he's been a DA for 25 years. He'll walk out the back door like Rafferty. The police officers, yeah, they'll go out and get 3 weeks' pay deducted. Brennan, he'll go back to private practice. Lally, he'll smoke 2 packs of cigarettes and it's been forgotten. Who will the state punish because they lost this? It won't be the big guys. It'll be the little lady with 2 missing kids, a nose the size of a mountain, and a quite colorful past. I would be sorry as well. Jess is a polite grifter. To put it bluntly, if you subscribe and push Baker over 16,000, he will do a 16-hour shirtless stream with pasties per YouTube's TOS. No, I will not do a 16-hour topless stream, Brandon. I don't even think I could do a 6. I think my record is still around 11 hours. And as soon as I get close to 10 hours, I get really loopy. And I don't understand how Will can do it. But I get loopy. Maybe I could do, if we have a special day coming up, I could do like a 12-hour stream or something. But I have to have something to talk about. You like coffee too? I drink lots of coffee. I'm a baker. Did I miss something? I've been rage smoking and I need to stop that. I went from 1 or 2 a day to 10 or some more days. Cough, cough. Yeah, that's actually the worst thing about getting back, because normally when I cover a case, it's a week, 2 weeks in and out. You jump in, you don't know much about it. Oh, this attorney has a weird haircut, and oh, the defendant seems a little bit slow. Fun. Ciao, ciao. See you later. I'm out in 2 weeks. I don't know what happened. That's how I normally cover cases. We have fun, we move on. But this case, you have to go back, and you just sit here and think, oh my, I could stoke up like crazy because I get so annoyed. Every time Brennan talks, I just want to move to America so I can buy menthols because they are illegal in Denmark. Well, the receipts are that people, this person have filed under the pains of perjury. So if they lie, they are in trouble, and their name is on. So I hope they can prove. I hope they can prove the money transfer. So far, it's hearsay, but I hope they can prove it. Hey, my pal Sal. Show them more fingernails off. Yeah, don't do that. Do get a good mod that will make you a little squishy. I play with my squishy all the time. Many littles left swipe in StreamYard. Thank you so much for a super sticker of a girl in the cloud saying, "Hey ya." I don't know what this means. Menthols are illegal in Massachusetts. Oh. Does it make your kids start smoking as well? I never heard about a kid smoking menthols, but apparently that's why they're illegal. Hey, Jess. Well, it's a good anti-stress. I was looking for one of those, not a fidget spinner, but they had like these balls that you can, because you're sitting here for 8 hours a day and you have to just think and you can't move, so you're just all the time. I wish Anonymous would step in. That would be fruit of a poison tree, so you couldn't use it as evidence anyway. So you read the last Turtleboy thingy. What do you think? I think it's very interesting if they can prove it. I have to preference this with allegedlys and what if and could be. If they can prove that Kate Peters was the go-between, so Brennan broke the gag order he screamed about. If there is money paid off the books to a person to do certain things, if Lally claims that he had an in on the jury, if all of this could be proven, this is dynamite. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I have tried to talk to lawyers. I have tried to learn from smarter people. But I see it as dynamite. The thing is, can we prove it? And will Bev say it's in Aidan's case, so it has nothing to do with this case, even though it clearly does? And more than anything, will anyone else see this and think, this isn't good. We should do something. This is bad. And by that, I'm thinking about our good old friends, the feds, because this should be Fed territory, right? Do you have the number for Krusty Panties? I want to thoroughly wet her for a Lego stream. If you look on her payment stub for the couch, her address is on it, but I won't share it because it'll be doxing. But she put it out on the internet herself. It'll be the perfect time for Krusty to flip. Yeah, but so far, why should she? That's the same when people are saying, well, Proctor could flip. Why? Right now, it'll be super stupid for Krusty to flip. Because right now, the people she's working for is the people with the power to put her in prison. If she flips right now, she's going to see an inside of a jail cell before either Aidan or Karen is doing it. Right now, as long as she shut up and does what's being said, she's fine. Well, Proctor should sell out all his old friends. Why? He would be putting himself in risk to get charged with crimes. Right now, as long as he shut the fuck up, the people who have the power to charge him with anything won't do it. This is how the mafia works. You just have enough of that on people so they'll shut the F up. Right now, it would be a lose-lose game for both of those two if they open their mouth. Yeah, but they should have morals. People don't have morals. If you're going away to prison, yeah, F you and F the horse you rode in on. They want to stay home with their kids. They want to stay home with their wife. They don't want to go to prison. They don't care that an innocent woman goes to prison. That's why, if anything is to happen in this case with any of this, it can't be local. It has to be federal. Local won't change anything. And I have one saying and one saying only on this channel. Don't trust the feds. The feds won't help you. Thank you for your coverage. Menthols are illegal in Massachusetts too. Well, another thing the clammy hand of the government has denied the people. I thought you were the land of the free and the home of the Braves. And that's Milwaukee Braves, I think, which is a baseball team. I don't know why. Are they a good baseball team since you say it in your Pledge of Allegiance that you are the home of the Braves? But thank you, Irony. Are you the diabetic Plevin Malt in a debate? Yes, that's me. I am. I'm the fat diabetic that doesn't know snow. Yeah, I read the entire thing. All of it is in there. Brennan, Morrissey, Lally, Kate, Jen McCabe are all mentioned in it. I wonder if Krusty and the person who made this affidavit are still on each other's Christmas card list. I think not. Oh, think I'm gonna jump off and take care of my voice. Go make myself some dinner. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and thank you all so much for the different things. You know, I don't tell you what to do, but if you do it, I'll be pleased because I'm very close to 16K. It could be fun to reach another goal. Have fun out there. Enjoy your Saturday. Let's fingers crossed that this will lead somewhere. But I don't think Bev will kick the table over. I don't think the feds will come fix it. But I hope that at some point we can have some justice in Canton.
Get cut and dry. Pretty simple. Just pin it on the girl, right? Pretty simple. Just pin it on the girl, right?
Objection.
Pretty simple. Just pin it on the girl, right?